Okay, so obviously I'm still in Houston, but my time right now is just after 2:30 in the morning. This is the earliest video I think I might have ever done in my life that I can recall. You're probably wondering why that is. It's because we have a flight that leaves at 7 a.m. this morning, and it takes an hour, I'd say an hour and 20, hour and a half to get from here to the airport, to the airport. And we have to factor in at least 20 minutes to get back the rental car. And that would just barely give us maybe an hour and a half before our flight leaves. So, needless to say, these next less than 4.5 hours is, it's going to be interesting, to say the least. So, I mean, I tell you what my low, you know what? I'll tell you my low and my high in acts of kindness, even though you could probably guess at least one of them. My low is the fact that the Bills lost. I can't believe they lost to the Jets. The Jets. Insert line from Big Daddy here. I mean, really, the Jets. Unbelievable. My act of kindness was, well, actually, both my high and my act of kindness was everything involving the wedding and anything I did to help set up or anything that, basically whatever I could do to accommodate anything that was going on, I did. And I'll get into more on the wedding in a minute, but I have a few things to do. Foremost, I have some NFL picks to go over and see what I got right and wrong. Okay, let's see. Okay, so I was right about the Patriots winning, so that makes me 2-0. Wrong about the Lions winning, 2-1. Right about the Chargers winning, 3-1. Wrong about the Jets losing, that's 3-2. Right about the Vikings winning, 4-2. Right about the Bengals winning, that's 5-2. Wrong about the Jaguars winning, 5-3. Right about the Dolphins winning, 6-3. Right about the Seahawks winning, 7-3. Wrong about the Bucks, actually, so that makes me 7-4. And I was right about the Chiefs, which makes me 8-4. Or hold on, I got 1, 2. Because now I'm doing the other. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. So hold on, there's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13. There's 13 games, okay. I thought it was counted, so let me just hold on. Let me recount again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, so 8 and 4. That's what it is so far. Okay. Doing pretty good this week. For some reason, I thought I actually did worse. Go figure. Okay, so. Okay, that's the sound of the saving. Now, Now I also have a One Piece manga chapter to do, which is so, seriously, I think there's going to be a One Piece manga chapter this week. I'm surprised I barely have any time to do this. So, this is pretty good. Not bad for not even being 3 o'clock in the morning yet. Okay, so, how am I going to do this? I have to do here. This is pretty cool. Look how spacious this bed is, too. Seriously, this might be the cool. Before I do this, I gotta say, this might be the coolest setup I think I've ever done for a video, like, ever. Now that, the more I think about it, I'm like, I could do this from my actual bed in my apartment, but it's not as grandiose as this. I mean, look at the macrame thing behind me. Actually, there's a small local company that does, macrame, like, makes, macrame art and little plushies for kids and everything. Shout out to Yarns by JP. Anyway, okay, alright, so let's begin with One Piece, chapter 1065, 6 Vegapunks. Okay. Looks like the chapter's starting off with Carlo on the 1000 Sunday talking to Zoro and Brooke. Zoro's talking to Carlo like, you helped our captain in Wano. Thanks. Get off now. Zoro's funny. This is why we like Zoro, by the way. Okay, looks like everyone is exploring Egghead right now. Okay. Marveling at what they're seeing and everything. That's really cool. Okay. Ooh. A Jinbei Seraph? Holy cow. Holy cow. Okay. This is interesting. And it looks like the Straw Hats can't really fight him because they think he's really Jinbei. Alright. Oh, I'm getting some real Saba Odi vibes pre-time skip. I'll explain that in a second. Wait. Is the Seraph using a devil fruit? Senior Pink Swim fruit? No. Can't be. But it is. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Everyone is going beast mode on the fact that the Jinbei Seraph is attacking everybody. Sanji gets a shot in. Oh. Sea Serpent Dragon that Robin's doing right now. Oh, that's like, seriously, when Robin gives you that look, like, in the words of Mr. T, I pity the fool. That is one look you do not want to be on the other end of. You do not, under any circumstances. Man, it's really cool. It's just so, ooh, and break the radical beam. Awesome. Okay, I have something to say about that in a minute. Hold on. Huh. It looks like there's more iterations of Vegapunk. Let's see. There's Dr. Vegapunk number 3, Edison, the Thinker. And it looks like Dr. Vegapunk number 4, Pythagoras, the Wise. Okay. And let's see. Number 6, York the Greedy. Number 1, Shaka the Good. Atlas was 3, and Lilith is 2. I know Lilith is evil. I think Atlas was, I forget what Atlas was. My apologies. Don't eliminate on comment section below. Alright. No way. This is huge. The chapter literally ends with Shaka, Vegapunk 1 saying, if I told you that Egghead wasn't the only one that hold on. No way. That there was once a kingdom just as highly advanced as this that actually existed 900 years ago. Would you believe me? Okay. So, the world of One Piece exists in a dystopian future. This is huge. Like, this final saga of One Piece has completely been living up to the hype so far. I have no problems with this at all. And I think the absolute coolest thing about this chapter, outside of this, is, okay, well, here's the thing. Obviously, it's really cool when we get to see the Straw Hats fight. I love that, especially when they're fighting individual opponents. But at least to me, when the Straw Hats are fighting as a team or a cohesive unit, a la like what they did fighting the Seraphim in this chapter, I really think they're one of the strongest teams in fiction. Right up there with like the Avengers, the Justice League, any iteration of the Power Rangers, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, like any superhero team you've ever known, the Straw Hats are right up there. And I love it. And I really like how the Jinbei Seraph is actually sort of making me remember what happened pre-time skip. Because pre-time skip, before the Straw Hats got separated, it took all they had just to fight one pacifista. After the time skip, they could pretty much one-shot one. This Seraph has actually taken a good amount of the Straw Hats' forces just to take it down. It's interesting. And the fact that the Seraph looks like Jinbei makes it all the more difficult for the Straw Hats to really fight him, because what if he really is Jinbei? They don't know what we know. Okay. Love this. Okay. Now it's time to talk about what we've all been waiting for. And that is the fact that my cousin got married yesterday. Let me bring it closer a little bit. There we go. So, my cousin got married. It was, pretty obvious. I mentioned that seeing my cousin get married was my high. And obviously, my cousin got married. Why would I think it's a bad thing, right? But for me, outside the fact that, we have a new family now, obviously, is I really think, because I mentioned after the last one I went to back in September, that, that was the first wedding I ever had been to where before it was, that's not me and it's never going to be me up there, right? Now, but as of right now, it's, that may not be me up there, but someday it will be, right? Honestly, I feel like I don't want to say completely past that, Because at the end of the day, I still wind up saying that's not me up there, right? But when it comes to believing that someday it's going to be me up there with, you know, the quote unquote lucky gal, you know, I'm all for it. This ceremony was absolutely beautiful, and this is the second wedding in a row in which I cried. Yeah, I cried. So what? I don't see any problem with that at all. This was actually really, okay, this part I thought was kind of silly, but I kind of get why. Because, you know, after the ceremony, you gotta take, you know, pictures of the bride and groom and everything. Oh, actually, before I talk about that, I was already starting to well up with tears, but the point that really got me the most, was when, during the ceremony, the priest actually said a certain, you know, blessing. It's a blessing that I have said on camera myself many times. And it'll be that very blessing I say come mid-December. But we have some time before we get to there. Point is, like, I was maybe like 70% of the way to just completely bawling in public in front of everyone. It was, tears were rolling down my face. They legit were. I'm not kidding. That's how emotional I felt. But it was a beautiful emotion. And I mean, I mentioned this before. I do see a therapist, and one of the first things that my therapist told me is, your emotions don't ask for permission. They don't. But in this instance, because when you feel them coming, you want to kind of repress them as best you can. And in a way, I guess I kind of did. But much like I did at the last wedding I was at. But I let it ride a little more than what I probably would normally do. So when I tell you that I'm kind of behind like the whole depression I feel at a wedding, I feel like I've come far with that. And now that I've been to, having two weddings, having gone to 2 weddings this year, I have an itch on my foot, hold on. I mentioned how around the end of the summer, I really wanted the last one I went to and this one to really, sort of, recover any problems I had from earlier this year. And for the most part, that's truly been the case. I mean, let's be honest. The hiccup where we had to stay in Detroit for a night, that part was stupid. Nothing about it. I'm okay with that. I mean, as bummed as I was, at the end, I was okay with that because it really could have been worse. I don't know how it could have been worse. I don't want to think about how it could be worse, but it could have been worse. So after the ceremony, obviously the bride and groom and the wedding party, have to take photos, and the vast majority of the people had it because when you don't have to take photos, y'all got to go to open bar and happy hour, cocktails and hors d'oeuvres. It's great, right? I and like the rest of my family had to stay for the photos though. So by the time we got there, all the good food was gone. I was so upset by that. Like, oh, yeah, well, man, I'm one of those guys that likes to, eat a lot of hors d'oeuvres and stuff. But that's okay. There was a lot of food for the actual dinner. It was buffet style. There was mac and cheese. There was grilled vegetables, like squash and green beans and stuff like that. It was grilled sauteed vegetables, some of that.
Yeah, it was real values. Oh, right. I should probably say, for the hors d'oeuvres, there's like a giant cheese plate with grapes and strawberries. There was little pieces of bread crostini, and there was like spreads on it. There was like a goat cheese artichoke dip. There was grilled vegetables. There was an egg. There was like an eggplant one that was really good. Bruschetta was actually they were all really good except for the one I didn't have was the olive one, but I'm not really a fan of olives, so sorry. Yeah, there was. Yeah, I think there was five spreads you could put in the little crostinis. It was a goat cheese artichoke, grilled vegetables, bruschetta, olive, and roasted eggplant. I think. I mentioned the cheese plate or cheese board with grapes and everything. So there's that. And for dinner it was mac and cheese, the grilled sauteed the sauteed vegetables I think is what it was. A gigantic like paella flat shaped pan of like chicken. That was really great. Roasted potatoes. And there was a carving station with pork tenderloin in which you could spread like both a pesto and a pomegranate molasses gravy sauce on. That was really good. And rolls with butter. So there's a lot of food. And for dessert, there was a wedding cake, but it was a small one, so everybody got cupcakes. Love cupcakes. They were really good cupcakes. I mean, there was like, really they were like chocolate and there was like white and, I mean, the pink one I think was supposed to be strawberry, but like, it didn't really taste much like strawberry. I think it was more like pink with, like vanilla with pink dye in it or something. I mean, I don't care. A good cupcake is a good cupcake to me, okay? I'm just saying. And, there was a lot of, dancing and fun. And it was great. And at the very end, and I don't think I ever told you, well, at the very end, we all got to go out because the bride and groom had to have like one last private dance. Meanwhile, we all got out, we all got in line, and we had sparklers. We got all the sparklers out, and the bride and groom, when they're done, they run out and run through all the sparklers, and it's all great and fun, everything. I don't think I ever told you this story, but when my brother got married, my cousin, who was the maid of honor in this wedding, her dress caught on fire at my brother's wedding. This time it didn't happen. This time it did not happen. This time it didn't happen. But at my brother's wedding it did. So I'm like, y'all really want to try and make history repeat itself? Luckily, nothing bad happened. No one's clothes got on fire. It was good. Everything was all said and done at like 11 o'clock. I went to bed at 11:45, and I've been up since 2, and it's now almost 3. So I've been working pretty fast, making sure I got everything taken care of. But yeah, this was something I needed. This whole experience, obviously minus the whole Detroit thing, this was an experience I sorely needed. And I'm glad I got it. I wish that, to my cousin and her new husband, congratulations. I was so happy and excited to be a part of this. I'm so thrilled that you guys found each other. I hope yesterday was everything you could have hoped and dreamed for. And I hope you have and may you have the time of your lives for the rest of your lives. Now, if you excuse me, I have a very long day ahead of me. Because I believe we fly to Atlanta, then we fly to Detroit, and then we fly back to Rochester. Not the greatest of days for me, but it is what it is. So I hope you all liked this video. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Follow me on social media. As always, I am very humbled I made this video for all of you guys watching. Enjoy for today. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Monday. Happy Monday, everyone. And you know what? That reminds me. It's actually my twin nephew's birthday today. So, to my twin nephews, happy birthday. It's possible it's possible you may never even see this video, or if you do, it'll be years from now. But no matter how old you are, or no matter what happens, always know that your Uncle Nick loves you. You turned 3 today, and I'm so happy to be your uncle, obviously. I'm proud of all you're learning and doing, and I hope to be there for all the days of your life, or as many as I can. I've been there for over 3 years. I've officially been there for 3 years worth of days. And, here's to many, many, many more. So, if you are watching this at some point, boys, always know that if you ever want to talk, well, really to surprise anyone, but I want this to be, come on, it's my nephew's birthday. I kind of got to do this for them. Always know that your Uncle Nick will always listen to whatever you have to say, and I'm always going to have your back. But as you get older, I want you to know that there are going to be times that are tough, and you're going to have to take care of yourselves, but that's okay, because you got 2 incredible parents. I would know because one of them is my brother, that are going to teach you all you need to know in terms of making the right choices in life. Some of them will be hard to do, but if you make them, you're in for a pretty nice life. At least I think so anyway. And maybe I am being a bit biased because, they are my nephews, So I love you boys. And I can't wait to see you later. Have a nice day, everyone.